Dead Daisies to Linear Rock. It's a pleasure to have you here back in Milan. Actually, you already played Italy, but in Verona last summer.
Yes.
So, welcome back to Italy, and it's an honor for us.
Well, it better be.
It's good to be here. Good to be here. Good to be here.
So the Dead Daisies are like a musical collective created by a rotating lineup from him, that, features some of the best musicians on the planet. And we have a sample here today.
David is the son. We just
the
revolve
drummer,
around
right?
him.
That's the only one we miss. Okay, so members or former members from Guns N' Roses, the Rolling Stones, the Cult, In Excess, Ozzy Osbourne, Rob Zombie, Thin Lizzy, Whitesnake, Motley Crue, Rat,
Wow.
9 Inch Nails.
That sounds impressive.
Wow, it
Yeah,
does.
a lot. Impressive, yes. Among
What a
others,
nails.
there's more.
That sounds like a very large tour bus.
Okay, so the
We do a
band
lot of rotating.
the band itself, has former members, current members, touring members. It is billed as a project, but in the end, it's a real band indeed. Is it, we can define it as supergroup or not? Considering, the spirit that's behind it, because you're all great friends, this is not a supergroup. So, who and what are the Dead Daisies?
Actually,
It's up to
Barbara,
you.
could you repeat the question?
Too long.
The connotation that a supergroup, the problem with the supergroup label, and we've seen it in the past few years, is that people get together for one tour. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so that's all they do. This is meant to continue as far as we can take it. We're
So
gonna
it's
take
sort
it
of
to the
extra
moon.
super.
It's extra super. That's the understanding that the public, the fans have. The super group, they're going to do one album and maybe not even an album, do a tour.
It's more of a super group.
Yeah,
Really,
there's a
when you
lot
think
of
about it.
that going on. So
Looks like super with cheese.
So we're a band,
Super.
and maybe David can explain it a little better. Go ahead. David.
The idea behind the Dead Daisies was to make some great music with good friends and enjoy it as much as we can. We all have other things to do. We all spend time doing other things, but we want to come together and do the type of music that we really love. And for part of the year, for all of us, part of that time is Dead Daisies time, and not all of us can always be there all the time, so that's why there's been a number of different members of the group. But we like to think of it as a bit of an extended family, but really it's a project for people who love rock and roll, who love what they do, and who like to do interesting and different things away from the normal thing that their other gigs may be, and it keeps it interesting for everybody. And we just love coming together, making good music and playing good music.
Is this lineup stable and definitive, or you will keep
It's
rotating?
incredibly unstable.
It depends. It depends on what other things people have to do in their other lives. So we try and keep it as stable as we can. But the music has a continuity to it. The style of music has a continuity to it. All the players that have been in it love the style and are from the same style. So whilst you can have different players, there is continuity in what the Dead Daisies.
So what's the deal? I mean, you have other commitments, as you just said, but I mean, is this a first priority for you, or how does it work? Because it's very difficult.
We've all
to deal with something like that.
got lots of first priorities.
Okay.
I've got many first priorities.
Okay. In music as well.
Many first priorities. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. We make it work because we love to do it. When it's possible for us to do it.
So no stress is the original attitude and the one condition that you put and that you just said. But don't you feel under pressure, directing all this traffic within the lineup? I mean, is that difficult, or is something that you deal easily?
It's been pretty smooth in that, when somebody has to leave, fortunately, we all have a lot of friends in the industry, and so we kind of know ahead of time if there's another commitment that somebody has to do. We kind of start calling and try to fit somebody that wants to do it, first of all, that can bring it and have a good time doing it, and we've done that. So, but like David said, it's a continuity in that we're representing the music. We're going to continue represent the music as much as we can. And yes, there's going to be some changes here and there, but so it's not hard, Barbara. When you know a lot of people in the business, it's pretty easy. There's a lot of people that want to be part of this project, I'll tell you that.
And don't you think that changing musicians and writers it has always been like an extra kick, defining, the sound and the musical identity of the Dead Daisies?
Well, it keeps it fresh.
Yeah.
It adds to it. It broadens. It's still in the same genre, but it broadens it, and you get different flavors and influences.
Spices.
I mean, also today, if you look at almost any band that's out there playing today, it's no longer 4 or 5 guys that started when they're 18 and they're still together much later, and it's just the nature of things and the way of things. So it's not such an unusual situation. Many bands go through that.
We use outside writers and things like that as well.
Yeah.
Okay. You released 2 albums, and this second one is doing better compared to the first one.
Yay.
It's adored by the press and the fans.
Yay.
How do you explain that? And maybe the people is, starting to connect with this project. And this one was done also quickly, if I'm correct.
Yes. It was
like a few weeks and
30 days.
Yeah.
We recorded, we wrote, recorded, mixed, and mastered 17 songs.
30 days in the hole.
30 days
30
in a
days in a
hole.
hole.
wow.
And part of, I'm sorry, Dave.
No, go ahead.
Part of, I think, that you never give enough credit to the people behind the scenes. And in this particular situation, we have a great team, from the management all the way down to the social media folks, marketing. And so they get it out there. We take care of the music. They get it out there and they promote it. They get in touch with people like you to kind of, interview us and kind of get the word out. That's a big part of it today, especially in today's media. You know that.
It's a very fast-moving world. And,
It is.
You can take 30 months to make a record. You can take 30 days to make a record, and we choose to do it in 30 days. 30 months would be too long, and it's doable.
And you're also very active on the internet, on the social networks. Once, even like 6-7 years ago, the internet was like the worst enemy of classic musicians.
True.
Because you stopped, selling big number of records like in the past because of the internet. But you are revolving it, in a different way. So is this like ceasefire for you with the internet?
It's just part of the world today.
You have to embrace
Go with it.
Yeah, you have to. It's become such a big part of our world that we have to. It's a great tool because, like you said, it's getting out there immediately, and people get an opportunity to like it or dislike it. So we kind of know where our market areas are, and right now it's all over the place. It's doing well. So you kind of, you embrace it or you go against it and you get lost in the shuffle. So that's the reality. The bottom of the line is that,
And you do everything yourself, or you have people taking care, of your page and...
Well, we have to take the photos,
Okay.
you know what I mean? So we have a photographer that travels with us, and, they're pretty much live with us 24/7, and they're constantly getting photos while we're eating, on stage, sound check, meet and greets. So they're constantly taking photos and videos and updating all day long.
We want to be in contact. We want to be in contact with our fans. We want to be in contact with people who like the music, and that's the vehicle to be in contact with.
And that is very cool. You're doing it in the perfect way.
Thank you.
So, John, you just joined the band.
Next question.
When you get when you went into studio, to record the album, which was your contribution to songwriting? Actually, honestly.
My contribution?
Yeah.
To be honest with you, we all sat in a room together. I mean, there was a couple songs that they had written before I joined, but we basically sat in a room together with guitars and bass and some keyboards, and we kind of formulated all of the ideas together.
Yeah.
And
John brought in sleep. He brought in sleep separately.
from the outside, yeah.
but I mean, all the stuff was kind
Very
of
collaborative.
all put together.
It's a very collaborative effort. Some songs have more of individuals in them, and some are more collaborative. But we like to do it all together.
And do you have to fight sometimes, since you have, a lot of talent?
I'll tell you,
there?
I'll tell you, to be honest with you, if you look at the record, the vinyl, because we actually have vinyl now, if you look at the record, I can take full responsibility for those little clear gaps in between each one of the songs. I did that all on my own. I don't care what these guys are going to tell you. I wrote all those little gaps. I produced them, mixed them, mastered them, everything all by myself. And there you have it.
We've answered that question before, and I think most of the guys we've had this conversation will agree that we're on the other side. We've been around for a few years, and we've done a few projects, and have had a few experiences of how not to do things in the past. And we were talking about it yesterday. It was like the writing and the publishing and all that's been the source of so many bands that dissolved because of the crap that starts with the players, So I think it was very conscious. It was a conscious decision from the top to get everybody involved, and everybody puts a little salt and pepper into whatever. If somebody brings an idea,
Which is really funny because in Nashville, where I live, they have a lot of outside songwriters for a lot of these country artists, and that's how they work it.
Right.
Like they'll set up a writing appointment and they'll say, okay, Richard, maybe the two of us, and Richard may have an idea that's 75 or 80% done, and I contribute very little to it. But the minute you get inside the room, the two people, it's shit. Everything is equal. It's equal, 50-50. I may come up with 5 words or just a little couple notes change on the chorus or whatever, but they consider it writing together. So
you
everything's
never know what
equally.
makes it. You never know which part of it makes the song what it is, and it can be one small little piece of it. Without that, you don't have a song, or it can be the whole song. So,
as long as the common denominator ultimately is to get the best writing, the best song out there, and we're all okay with that, because that's my idea. I just want to be part of something that's going to be the best possible. So if it means that, maybe my stuff or my idea is not going to work, I'm okay with that. And I think that goes, it's true to be said about everybody. It's like, we want to make this work and get the best music, put on the best shows. That's it,
And David, was this the basic idea you had when you first started the Dead Daisies?
yeah.
It turned exactly as you wanted it to be?
Things take a life of their own and have a path that you can't envisage when you start out. But the project was started out by myself and previously with John Stevens, and we went down a path of writing, recording an album, getting musicians around us, and it was an ever-changing lineup, and we always knew this was the nature of the project. But the idea behind it was just to write some good music, play some good music, and have as much fun as we possibly can. I mean, it's not a perfect world. Things don't always go exactly as you want them. But I think that by and large, inside the Dead Daisies, it's a pretty happy ship, and try and keep the sailing as smooth as possible and have as much fun as we can.
So you just mentioned the ship. Okay, so you played at the Kiss Cruise.
Yes.
And you actually did
Twice.
the experience twice. Okay. Is it something anybody have to do once in a lifetime? And what's about this cruise mania that is taking rock and roll business?
John, you should answer that.
To be honest with you,
quite a few.
I've only done the, prior. This was my first Kiss cruise, and it was great. You know what I mean? Obviously, I have a long history with a lot of the Kiss fans from Union.
I know.
Yes, and ESP, obviously. So it was good to see a lot of old friends and meet some new ones. I normally do the Monsters of Rock cruises. And I don't know what the thing is with them now, but they're more and more bands are starting to do these cruises and have these weekend getaways to like Jamaica or Bahamas or whatever, and I can't explain it. All I know is the Monsters of Rock one is awesome. It's like a festival on a boat. So instead of being in a muddy park or whatever, you're basically on the water, and it's truly a festival on the boat, because Monsters of Rock cruise, unlike the Kiss one, I think Kiss has like 5 or 6 artists, and the Monsters of Rock has like 25 or 30.
Yeah.
It's pretty intense, but it's cool. It's a great way to meet the fans, you know, and you know, I laugh about it. I joke. I said, you know, even if you suck, they can't get off the boat. So it's kind of awesome.
It's a captive audience.
It's a captive audience.
Absolutely.
So
I mean, you know, you get together with fans, other bands fans, like the Kiss fans, the Kiss Army. I've had the opportunity to be there before. It's awesome. It just keeps growing. You know, it keeps growing and multiplying and multiplying. So there's about 3,000 folks on the ship celebrating all that it is
From all over
Kiss.
the world.
From all over the world.
Yeah.
There was people from Brazil, Mexico.
There's even
Argentina.
150 from Australia.
Insane. And so it's a good way for us, we realized that right away after we did the first one, to expose ourselves to the planet, if you will, because
Marco likes to expose himself.
yes, I
planet.
do.
well, and sometimes at elementary school, I'll talk about that.
Ouch. I hope my children don't listen. I'm only kidding, honey. But anyway, yeah, it's just a good way to kind of spread the word in a quicker way. You know, people go back and they start talking about it.
Yeah.
And as soon as we announced the next one, people were starting to talk back to us about, oh, we're excited about number 5, and so on and so forth. And so it's great, you know, captive audience, like you said, you know.
And last February, you've been also the first Western rock band to play in Cuba since Obama reopened trade ties. Okay, trade ties. And you made history with that, actually. How was that experience? And did the idea of the Revolution title for the second album come from there? The
Well,
inspiration?
in all honesty, David and our management had been working on going to Cuba for the better part of a year. So initially, they were planning on going with John, the other singer.
Okay.
But yeah, I don't think the trip to Cuba really influenced the music. But it was just weird. Marco will tell you, like, everywhere we went, we just kept saying "Viva la Revolution," you know, everywhere. And, you know, when we were doing these photos, we also did a coffee table book and a documentary on the trip. And it just kept popping up everywhere, like in the photos and whatever, the film. So when we were looking for a title for the record, we were like, oh, it's kind of like subliminally, like just battering us in the face right now. It's right here. So we call it Revolution.
And it is a revolution going on there again with the opening up of trade with the United States and with opening up Cuba to the world. And it's a wonderful spirit there. The people have a wonderful spirit. They love music. They know how to have a good time. They were very hospitable to us, and we got to collaborate with Cuban musicians as well. It was an outstanding experience for all of us.
Great
It was really, really wonderful life experience, not only music experience.
And now they have a cigar import-export business. So if you want some cigars, give me a call.
Cogivas, Monte Cristo, Romeo y Julieta,
Tokorabi.
de Corabi.
John, did you start to learn some Italian finally? No.
No.
Okay.
And
Still no.
he swears at us all the time.
No, I had the fungo. But anyway, no. You know what? Actually, I'm going to break down. I think when I go home for the holidays, I've already told my friends I'm going to buy that Rosetta Stone Italian, and I think my wife would enjoy it if I spoke to her, brought her some meatballs in bed, talked to her in Italian, and
Pasta,
how about a noodle?
pomodoro.
Okay, last couple of quick questions or they're gonna kill me. Marco, what
Yeah.
does it mean for you to get back on stage with Whitesnake but not actually playing with them tonight?
What does it mean? Again, it's a great opportunity for us. You know, we started when we were working on the album. We all started calling our friends, and we've worked with a lot of people. And David Coverdale was one of the guys that returned my phone call, and we started talking about the possibility he was coming out with a new album. We wanted to support that. We're all big fans of Purple, Years, and Whitesnake and all that. So for me, it's a lot of fun. reuniting with the guys, hearing the set, hearing the songs. We're backstage singing. It's a blast. And again, we're playing in front of a different audience, so it's a great opportunity, And David was really cool to kind of open the door. So thank you, Mr. David Coverdale. Appreciate it.
I do want to thank him for allowing, actually, I have to say this, just for the record, we are not opening for Whitesnake. I want to thank David for closing for us. Thank you very much. DC, you go, bro.
Much respect, bro.
What?
Okay, Richard, if you wanna ask, answer to this question, but those Guns N' Roses reunion rumors, what's the point? Is that actually something happening, or what do you know about it? If you want to say something,
I know nothing.
Okay, so
I know nothing about
no
the
comment
horse.
is your question. Is your answer?
What are they talking about, Richard?
I don't know. It's the
know.
internet. People
Okay.
go crazy with that.
All right.
But if you want a point, there's about 500 million of them.
There you go.
Very last thing, a lot of bands and artists are canceling their tours because of the after what happened in Paris. But you decided to go on, and
we did.
because the show must go on. So what's your opinion about people canceling and?
Well, people have to make up their own minds how they want to. How they want to go about things. There truly was a real risk, and there still may be a risk. We evaluated the situation, and we felt that taking all things into account, we should go and play. And the people in Paris were very, very appreciative that we were there, and it meant something to them, and it meant something to us to be able to go and do it. It's easy to run and hide.
To the stage didn't change after that? No, not at all?
We just went out there and did our thing, had a great time, the audience loved it, and life goes on.
Life goes on. This is what we do, and I believe music is in situations like these, I really believe it's really important to bring the music to the people. Just even for a few hours, they can just escape.
And that was the thing. Everybody, we did a little signing afterwards, and sat with them and signed pictures.
They
and
loved it, man.
Probably 15 or 20 people came to me afterwards and said, "Thank you so much. We needed this."
Yes.
So it was cool. It was a very good feeling.
But the people that did cancel their show, I respect that as well. We all have to make our own choices in these situations, and there's no right or wrong choice.
Okay, so we're looking forward to see your show tonight. Opening for Whitesnake. No, actually, Whitesnake is closing for you.
Thank you.
So, okay.
Bravo.
Thanks so much. Big salute for Italian fans.
Alla prossima, Italia!
Thank you so
Grazie.
much.
Thank you for having